We're excited to have you today. The next 10 hours, no, I'm kidding. The next 3 hours and 50 minutes are just going to be hopefully life-changing for you. I mean, I don't know about you, but I went to bed nervous. I woke up nervous. My wife's like, wow, you don't always get nervous. I go, true, but when I am, it's usually good. I go, it gets your adrenaline going, and I've been praying. I've been praying to God for Him to give me the words, the thoughts, something to shake you to your core so you can have the most amazing 221 and beyond. I mean, 220, God bless it, right? But let me hear a good solid cheer if you're glad it's over. Anybody here? Yeah. I mean, it was actually financially a really good year for mortgage and real estate, but who's glad that it's going to just fade away, right? Our goal here in this business planning clinic is to make a big difference. We have prepared for months for this. The workbooks, you will not need them till 11:30. So in front of you, you all have an all-in workbook. You don't even need to worry about going through it right now. You will not need it till 11:30. At 11:30, you're going to be very busy with it. So if you could shut it, flip it over, and give your full attention to the next two speakers. Before I get our first speaker up this morning, which is going to be me. So I hope you drink your coffee and put on your seatbelts. You'll love this guy. He's great. And hopefully you all enjoyed meeting my daughter. I don't know if she's still here. Sarah. Whichever one you are. There's Sarah. Everyone say hi, Sarah. She's my 21-year-old. Say a prayer for Christina. She had to put her dog down last night. Maybe say a prayer for Dad, too. I think I'm taking a hurry. I shouldn't have, I don't know, I wasn't planning on that. That was a mistake. 13 years, he's a good dog. So. It's a happy sad. It was just his time. He was really struggling. All right, straighten up. Anyways, I really... Okay, today, we are going to focus on your life. We're starting off with my topic is vision boards. Before I really get into vision, I'm going to hit it. You got to have a vision. So what do you mean by that? Well, what is your purpose? Where are you going? Why are you doing what you're doing? Sometimes you got to step away from your business, and I'm preaching to the choir. All of you could be showing property right now, going on listing appointments, writing offers, doing addendums, responding to home repairs, and maybe doing a request for repairs. There's a lot of things you could be doing right now. You guys are the ones right now today who've chosen to do that, take that 30,000 foot view and work on your business, not just in your business. So I commend all of you. You're doing great. But number two, you got to think, okay, am I afraid to call? I'm gonna kind of drift back and forth about getting buyers and listings and building EXP, a sales organization for yourself. And I'll be honest with you, I spent 20 years selling thousands of homes. Today I get nothing for all that effort. Nothing. Would you invest your money that way? Why do we invest our time that way? Now, the agents I enrolled 4 years ago, most of you know the story. It's a Cinderella story. It's an amazing thing. Back then, everyone said I was a sucker, I was a fool, I was an idiot. They called me incompetent, right? Now they call me for advice. They call me stupid, and now they're like, oh, you're a genius, right? They're going to do the same thing to you. They're going to call you incompetent, foolish, this, that, right? And then they will call you for advice if you push through. It was scary, There, you got to push through. So my point to you is if you are nervous about calling for sale by owners, about calling expired listings, about doing what it takes to learn how to become a listing agent, about attracting agents, I'm going to go back and forth. Your fear and intrepidation is bigger than your dreams. So remember, you ever see pictures of the solar system? There's the Earth, there's the Moon, there's the Sun, there's Jupiter, there's Mars, there's Neptune, and it goes out. So picture your dreams, right? And then picture fear being the size of a giant beach volleyball over here. And this is a tennis ball or a golf ball size, your dreams, goals, and visions. And if you're finding yourself being overcome by this. It's because the fear and intrepidation, what if the expired listing, what if they go, if I hear from one more, stupid real estate, I've had 20 calls this morning and I'm going to sue you, and it's jarring to your soul, right? So there's two ways to react to that when you meet someone like that. Keep in mind, I would never treat anybody like that. So here's the deal. You could take use a dog for example, sweet dog, but if he's got a wounded paw or a lion, even the sweetest dog, if you touch it, he's going to nip at you, right? Because hurt animals will bite because they're injured. They're just, no, don't touch that paw. I'm going to nip at you. Get away from my paw. It hurts. My pastor taught me 20 years ago, hurt people. Sometimes you come across wounded people. So instead of being offended and building a fence, like forget that loser or that guy, that gal. Am I just, okay. So instead of being offended, you got to have empathy. Everyone write that down. That's the first thing I want you to write down today. Live your life with empathy. Live your life with some understanding. Instead of being, I can't believe he said, I can't believe she said that. Just deal with, you're dealing with someone who's, just go, what happened to him or her in their life to make them that ugly of a person? And I have empathy for them. I pity them. I'm like, what was their childhood like? What happened? And be curious and pray for them. Because what happens is if you let it overcome you, then you replay it in your mind again and again. Key salient point number 1, write this down. You get to choose what you focus on in your life. Focus on what you don't have. Focus on the marriage you don't have. Focus on the health you don't have. Focus on the fact that you haven't made a sale in 4 months. And then you start feeling bad that you're feeling bad because you're feeling bad. If you focus on what you're grateful for, man, it was a weird Christmas, but it was kind of sweet. We couldn't gather, but I spent more time with my kids or this or that. Or maybe you were isolated at Christmas. But what can you thank God for? Your health? What did you go serve at the Salvation Army? You want to be down? Go help somebody. You'll be up. Yeah. Go serve at Goodwill, the Salvation Army. Go help at a homeless shelter. You realize it's like this. I felt sorry for myself because I had no shoes. Until I met a man who had no feet. It's one thing to be barefoot. It's another thing to have no feet and to have little nubs. There's always somebody who's got it rougher than you. Write this down. Ready? Every key salient point number 2. Everybody struggles. You got to realize you are going to struggle. That's why we respect people. Do we respect, raise your hand and stand up if you respect Paris Hilton. She's a socialite. She inherited the Hilton, great-grandpa that built Hilton. It's worth, I think Hilton's worth like $19 billion now. And she is super ultra rich, but she's made a mockery of the family name and she's in the tabloids and she's never, it's like the old cocoon and the butterfly, the monarch, right? There's a caterpillar, then it cocoons. And if you cut away the cocoon, and then it gets out easier, the fluid never gets out of the wings, and the monarch dies. It never becomes what it was meant to be. But it's the struggle going through that tiny little opening in the cocoon that gets all the liquid out of the wings, so they get out, then they dry for a while, and then once the wings are dry, they take flight. The struggle that you so resent right now, that with your fear, in your marriage, with your teenage son or daughter, if you embrace it and say, if it's too tough for you, it's just right for me. If you step into it, it's things like it's the force of the gale. It's not the force of the gale, but the set of your sail that determines your direction in life. You need to understand right now, everybody struggles. And the struggle is good. The struggle is what makes you who you are. What do we love in America? We love the rag to riches story. We love the Cinderella story. That's why they made the movie The Cinderella Man. If you've never seen it, you must go home and watch it tonight. It's a rags to riches story, and I love it. Based on true facts. The story was so incredible they made a movie about it. I hope someday they make a movie about your life. Oh, come on. I'm not a famous boxer like Cinderella Man and the whole story. And it's not really about boxing, although it is. Well, Mother Teresa, she was a famous boxer, right? No, she went to the end of the railroad tracks in Calcutta and just started picking up people who were dying in the streets as the cows walked by and started nursing them back to health as she could or letting them die with dignity. And she got knighted by the Queen of England. And she's the most famous person in the world. Is she stunningly good looking like a supermodel? Is she big, strapping, strong, amazing physique like me? Is she, couldn't help. Is she, is it her Hollywood good looks? Was she this Albert Einstein genius? No. All the woman did was love, care, serve, give, with nothing in return. So if you're nice to a for sale by owner, an expired listing, someone you market on Craigslist or Facebook, and then they list with Coldwell Banker, and you're like, that agent stole my client. Well, A, it was never your client when they signed the listing agreement. So no one ever stole your buyer, ever. Like ever. That is victim mentality. In fact, key salient point number 3, write it down. Victim or victor? The choice is yours. Again, you get to choose what you focus on. And I'm just chumming the water, kind of warming you up for what you're going to go through today. Is this okay? Awesome. So victim or victor? The choice is yours. When you have a victim mentality, life happens to you. Like, oh my gosh, I got rear-ended. Oh my gosh, so-and-so made me that. Oh my gosh, the broker blew my deal and you're a victim. It's Gavin Newsom is making me wear a mask and all this stuff. And I get it. It can make your restaurant. I mean, you see that guy, the restaurant owner, go off and all that. I mean, I get it. Life's tougher, but the struggle's what makes you who you are. It's what gives you muscles. It's good. Embrace it and know this: you are not alone. There's like, stand up, raise your hand. Honestly, I'm sure there's a dozen. You've never struggled in any area of your life. Your marriage is a 12. Your body's a 14. Your finances are a 20. Now, please, I want you guys to look around. I want you to look around. Please raise your hand. I'm going to raise 2 if you've ever struggled in your life. Raise your hand. Raise your hand, everybody. So listen to me. Stop feeling sorry for yourself because you're struggling. Struggle is a part of life. Struggle's good. What do we say to our kids when they say, Dad, I can't do it? Your 9-year-old, your 7-year-old, your 15-year-old. You say, son, daughter, yes, you can. You're going to be amazing. God's got great plans for your life. You're going to get married. You're going to have a family. You have such an incredible life. Now, some of you are going, well, I didn't have that kind of a childhood. Okay. So now you're a victim of your parents. I get it. I'm not saying horrible things have not happened to you, but you got to stop living in the past. You got to write this down. Write this down. Quit taking yesterday's baggage into tomorrow. Because then tomorrow will be just like yesterday. And I realize I'm not saying your life is not great and you don't have good baggage. But what I'm talking about is the bad baggage. What I'm talking about is you not making amends with your brother. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You and your brother are isolated. You and your sister. You need to go make it up. You don't understand. This horrible thing happened. Look, you're the only one in bondage. Or like Joey Trevisani made fun of my teeth in the 5th grade on the softball field. I mean, I remember it right now. I was 10. I'm 54. That was 44 years ago. I still remember it because I had discolored teeth back then, right? And then I had kids, and I didn't fix my teeth because I had kids. Do any of you know the scientific term for children? It's called ICUs. Anybody know what that stands for? Income consuming units. I have 5. We adopted 2, and I have 4 dogs. We have, I can't even count that high, like 11 people to care for, although 3 now. But here's the deal. I finally spent money on my teeth a year or two ago and fixed my teeth, but I never forgot what Joey Trevisani said to me in front of 4 other people. It made me aware that everyone else did have white teeth. I never looked at my teeth, I saw theirs. And I realized that was different. I was special in the kind of way I didn't want to be special. And it hurt. And I remember I could see everybody. I could see Joey go, your teeth are weird, I could still see him doing this. I could still see it. And then I remember the YMCA trip to Salt Lake City when I was a sophomore in high school. I remember this woman, she was older. She was like really old. She was like 23. But when you're like 15, 23 is like, how many years you got left? I mean, you're old. 23 is a very mature woman. And she looked at me and she told me that I was just going to be a heartbreaker, how special I was as far as, some girl's going to be lucky to have you someday, and you're amazing and you're all this. No one had ever said that to me, like ever. As far as me, someone would want me, I'll never forgot her either. I never forgot the Astros coach in Chula Vista where I grew up as a kid. Why are you sharing this to us? Because there's a lie out there, and the lie goes like this. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Are you kidding me? Words have crushed you your whole life. You've held on to it, and you've been a victim by what your aunt said to you, by what your uncle said to you, by what your dad or your mom did or didn't say to you, or your grandparent. You're fat, you're the short one. You're this, you're ugly, and you're holding on to it. You freaking build an idol to it with candles, and you bow down to it, and it owns you. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm here to tell you, you are beautiful. Will you ever see the cowboy in Texas? He's missing a tooth, but he's got a big old smile. He hasn't shaven in 4 or 5 days, and he's smiling. And you're like, I don't know who that guy is. I want to meet him. It's probably named Slim, and or Jimmy or whatever. And he's missing a tooth, and he's got a big old grin. And so here's the deal. You get back what you radiate out. Like if you're not getting love and you don't have friends, you're not giving love. And you're not being a friend. If you go looking for friends, they're really hard to find. If you'll simply just be a friend, if you'll walk up to someone and introduce yourself, why are you telling this to us? Because key salient point number 1, what I started with was what? You get to decide what you focus on. You can feel bad that you feel bad because you're feeling bad, which is a cycle down, or you can have gratefulness in your heart and start thinking about what is good. You got a choice, because if you stay in the darkness, it's a long night. Every morning the sun rises. Thank God the sun rises. I don't know if any of you have ever been there, but I have. In 2010, I couldn't wait for the sunrise every morning. I couldn't wait for a new week, a new month, and thank God for a new year. I don't know what 2010 was like for you, but it was my personal hell. I remember in 2010, I thought, I wouldn't wish this on my biggest enemy. And I don't have many enemies, really don't have enemies, but I don't look at people that way, right? There's certainly people who I've done transactions with and they thought I mishandled it, and I've gone into McCooney's on Hazel in 2005. They got up and walked out. That's kind of embarrassing, and they're bitter and angry with me, and I got like 2 or 3 people I can think about that just don't like me. I get it. Not everyone likes me. But write this down. Ready? I want you to write this down. I'm here to tell you right now, adopt the philosophy. Write it down. Everybody loves me. Because when you go around thinking people don't like me, I'm short, I'm fat, I'm not good enough, your limiting beliefs, write this down. I must annihilate limiting beliefs. Well, that's weird. No, let me give you an example of a limiting belief. Ready? And you might want to write this down. Success is something that happens to other people while I watch on the sidelines. I'm not the quarterback. I'm not the head cheerleader. I'd even make the band. I'm an outsider. I'm a loner. I'm this. That's all going on in your head. You got some crazy stuff. I'm here to tell you, everybody loves you. Everybody loves me. I've had people I've cut off on 80, and they pull up next to you in their truck, and they're going to drive over you, like those commercials with Will Ferrell. Remember that? That one movie, I don't know what it was, but the guy in the big truck drives over Will Ferrell. It's like a Jimmy Fallon thing.
I'm sorry about that.
I know. But I'm like, I look at them, now you could react like, geez, calm down. They give you the bird, you give them the bird. I mean, then you end up road rage and all that. Or you could just go, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I have more love than their hatred. I have more, like, you know what? I did cut you off. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And I have yet to have anyone go, oh, it's cool, thumbs up. I go, thumbs up. I convert them on the freeway. Now, have I had a moment where I responded badly? Yes. It happened in 2010, probably when I wasn't in a good state. Early in the morning, sun is, late at night. It was early in the morning. It was late at night, early in the morning. I'm pulling off LaPorte onto Pleasant Grove. The sun is in my eyes, so that would have to be morning, right? I'm blinded. I cannot see. I saw a car coming off there. It's almost still dark. The sun just literally shot up to blind me. And I'm halfway blind. I look. I go, I got this. I pulled out. Well, he was hauling. He was coming up pretty fast. And so I kind of accelerated. I'm like, oh, yeah, I probably should have waited. And then next thing I know, he's flashing his lights at me, honking the horn, going nuts. And I kind of reacted. And I wanted to just, I wasn't okay with the way he was behaving. I stayed calm, and I almost, wasn't a good year for me. I almost flipped him off and like, hey, right? I'm human, right? Are you human? Anybody not human? If you're not human, raise your hand. We will whip you right now. We'll beat you up. So here's the deal. I control myself, and I go, you did kind of cut him off. His reactions, high beams, honking. He was just going crazy. I'm like, dang, it's like 6:30 in the morning. Calm down. And I almost just, And then 20 seconds later, maybe 10 seconds later, as I go through the intersection, he made a right on foothills. Thank God, because I didn't want to be around this person. It was kind of halfway scary how crazy he was. My phone rings. It was a friend of mine going, hey, man, I was trying to get your attention. I was high beaming you, honking at you. You just pulled out in front of me. And I almost flipped him off and gave him the bird and rammed him. So I'm going to say it again. Everybody loves you. You got to adopt that attitude in life a little bit. And if they don't love you, you're loving them. Like some of you may not like me as a speaker. That's okay. I'm doing my best to be authentic. Write this down. Key salient point number 4. Are we on 4 or 5?
We're on 6.
Key salient point number 4, 5, or 6. Depends on where you are in your notes. Now I forgot my key salient point. That is hilarious. I actually can't remember. All right. So again, you get to choose what you focus on, victim or victor. And then this, you must stretch yourself. You must stretch yourself. That's where all growth comes. Well, I just want to be comfortable, man. You either growing or dying. There is no neutral land. I'm out of high school. I'm never reading another book. That is a lie from darkness. Lead, grow, change. Write this down. Become a student of life. What does that mean? You read books on how to be a dad, on how to be a friend. I've read The Friendship Factor by Alan Lloyd McGinnis, and he wrote a book about the greatest friendships ever on earth and what made a great friendship. And could you be, how many think I'm just the most awesome friend anyone's ever had? Or how many think you could grow? Could you be a better husband, a better wife, a better lover, a better mom, dad? Could you improve at work? And so here's the deal. Readers are leaders and leaders are readers, okay? Leaders are readers. What time is it? How am I doing? I've lost all track. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. All right, so again, you must stretch yourself. Now when you say, I just can't. When you can't push yourself, if you can't, write this down. Then you must. If you can't, I get it, you can't. Now you absolutely have to. When I went from a wandering generality to a meaningful specific, my life radically changed. There were 3 big changes. A, when I became a Christian, when I met the Lord. Number 2, when I met my wife. Okay? That'll change you. You meet your spouse. That's going to have life implications, hopefully better. Yes. And that might me too. So number 3, are you ready? When I was struggling and I had nothing in escrow and everything I touched didn't work out. Every escrow I had canceled. Lender couldn't do the loan all of a sudden. Appraisal came in low. Home inspection scared the buyer. One by one, everything fell out of escrow. And that was the most powerful thing that ever could have happened to me when I had nothing in escrow. It changed my life because I'd been in real estate for 4 years. At the time, I was selling 3 or 4 homes a month. I was very comfortable. You can make a good living selling 3 or 4 homes a month, yes? Yeah. Even back then in the Stone Ages in 1999. And so I've been in real estate for 4 years, and I had nothing in escrow, and I was the sole provider, and like, we have no money. And it freaked me out, and I go, that's it. And I decided to set that BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal, a BHAG, and I set a goal to sell 30 homes in a month, not a year. And I'm like, I didn't know how I was going to do it either. Like, that's a dumb goal. That's kind of a hairy, audacious goal. It's actually audacious. Who the hell do you think you are? You're going to sell 30 homes in 30 days? You? Like, people, are you crazy? People are thrilled. How many agents are thrilled to sell 30 in a year? Yes or no, right? A lot of agents. 30 in a month? I didn't know, but I said, yep. So the goal made me change. Like, what are you doing this week? I'm going to show some property, maybe go on a listing appointment this week. Very non-specific, very wandering. Zig Ziglar calls that wandering generality. Now I set this goal that was so big it made me focus. Okay, I got to think differently. All of a sudden, if I'm going to sell 30 homes in 30 years, I show property every day. Like, what do you do today? I'm showing property today. Who to? I don't know, but somebody's seen a house today. I don't care if it's an apartment, a condo, a halfplex, a duplex, a house, a mansion. Somebody's seeing something today. And I worked so hard to do it, it didn't happen. But the next day I showed 2. The next day I showed 3. The next day I showed 4. I started showing 2, 3, 4, 5 buyers a day, property every day. I was writing offers every day. I ended up not hitting the goal of 30 homes in 30 days. My record was 7 homes in a month, and I was pretty proud of that. It only sold 3 to 4. I had 7 in escrow. How would you feel right now if you just closed 7 homes in the past 30 days? I was feeling like, oh yeah. But at my normal 3 to 4, and my record was 7, I'm like, God, can I ever get back to 7? That was so sweet, closing 7. But all of a sudden, I had this problem, and I stepped into it, chest out, I'm going to do this. And I didn't hit the goal. I actually utterly failed, but I did close escrow on 14 homes in the next 30 days. I doubled my all-time record because I began to change the way I think, my focus, and I became a meaningful specific. Write that down. You are a wandering generality or a meaningful specific. So today is just really to get you to go to Tahoe tomorrow, or Carmel, or Monterey, or downtown Sacramento to the Sheraton, okay? And I want you to think about what you're doing with your life, your exercise, your diet, your marriage, your business, your listings, your buyers. We're going to get into details at 11:30, but I've got to cut it short for now, but I will show you one thing. You need to get clear on your vision. There's my dream board. Do you have one? I've been telling people this for 4 years. I will not ask you to stand up if you don't have one. If you don't have one, you're not. Everybody has a vision board. We're going to put a man on the moon. They drew a little capsule. I don't know what it'll be, but then you moon, back. That was the vision. That was the dream. And they did it. Then they got models and they built little models. These little models. Today, everything is done. Every single thing on the board. But I did this within 2 or 3 days of joining EXP. I didn't do it till I've done it off and on throughout my life, but I did it. And my dreams, which is mainly family and travel. It's not Lear jets, although Gene wants to buy a jet with me, and I'm actually thinking about doing it. Is that crazy that you're going to buy a jet? That's stupid. But anyways, you know, I mean, literally, good for you, Brent, but it is kind of cool that I let you know, getting out of debt with the IRS. I had a lot of debt, and my visions of being just totally debt free and money in the bank and traveling become bigger than my fear. And then I went and listed all these homes and enrolled agents. The rest is history. So before we go any further, let's see. Whoa, ooh, it's triggered. Okay. So we have a short video we're going to show you about 7 minutes. I'm still giving you 30. Don't worry. Our next speaker will come up after the video, but we're going to do, was this a good warm up? Yeah. Kind of get your brain thinking, your heart pumping, all that, and mine's pumping. But we're going to share with you a short video on commercial, because James Hahn was the president of ARIA, who is the president of the commercial brokers in California. He is now the president of EXP Commercial worldwide. He is the special guy. We get the right guy, and we're going to do just 7 minutes. You can know you may bump into commercial agents opportunities. So here we go.
Good morning, EXP Con. It is my pleasure to be here. And Jason, thank you so much. it was great to actually see everyone a year ago in person. And you know what? I was just wondering how is this going to turn out for EXPCon, but this is fabulous. This is just the biggest and disruptive change that I could ever see. And I am just really humble and grateful to be here as the new guy, the new part of the company. And it is true. There's just so much collaboration, so much love, so much caring. I mean, from the agents to the staff to everyone just reaching out. It was just unbelievable. It is just amazing. And I just want to thank all the staff and the teams and the presidents who've really embraced me, helped me understand the EXP culture, the family, and really trying to help us all thrive as owners. So I'm super, super excited to be here. And just to kind of go through a little bit about what we have in store for commercial, we are looking to, as everyone knows, we launched November 1st, and the website's up. And we are going and getting up with 30 states, and we are growing almost on a daily basis. And thank you, Stephanie. We are adding new states. So hopefully by the end of the 2020 fourth quarter, we will be open up all the states. We are opening up 8 service lines. So the different product type specialists and groups we are serving, we are negotiating, like everyone says, and working on the different product business lines that can enhance us, like capital markets and finance, asset management, other types of businesses we could create. Really, you know, with my close friend, Michael Valdez, who we were talking even before both of us joined EXP about what we can do, collaborating with international growth, commercial, luxury, and how we can really help this company grow and take it to the next level, which I'm hearing over and over again of what everyone's doing for EXP, just really thinking outside the box and taking us to the next level, disrupting and changing the way real estate is being done. And one of the things I'm really excited about in commercial is, you know, because of the scale and the success of EXP, we have negotiated great tools like with CoStar, LoopNet, Build Out, and more tools that are coming, really to help all the commercial agents be as successful as they can, right? To help all of our companies to collaborate, as Jason and Curtis has said, really working with each other, not being in a silo. So this is super exciting. And really when we're sharing about the opportunities in EXP and EXP Commercial, is really the great split and compensation, the low caps, the rev share, stock options that we have available. I mean, this is really unheard of. And in commercial real estate, this is very unheard of. We're just like, what? We can be owners of the company. You know, we can make money. There's so many ways of participating within the company to really prosper. And really the agent benefits, as we were talking about, is to create financial freedom and success. This business, I've told many people so long ago, I love commercial real estate. Commercial real estate, I love to teach new people. I love to train new people. I love to share what we're doing. But on this platform, not only are we making great commissions, but we could now get revenue share. We can be owners of the company and just be at a place where now we can help each other. Once you're successful, we've always said, once you get to there to be successful, you need to give back. You need to help others. So I believe wholeheartedly within EXP and EXP Commercial, we will all be successful and thrive so we can really give back to our communities. And this is the big thing. With EXP growing constantly, I even think our numbers are always behind. Every time we say a number of agents, I think we're always a couple hundred agents behind because of just the incredible growth that we're having. And this is the biggest thing. We are going to collaborate, you know, with the realty group, with the international, with commercial. We are all working together. We're not going to be in a silo. We are all going to send referrals, best practices, knowledge, and just sharing what we learn, what we know, to really help each other thrive. And I love that when I hear this over and over again. We're here to help each other. We're here to help each other thrive. And then really the training and mentorship that we have, that people will see, from a new agent just learning to get into the business of commercial to seasoned, experienced agents that want to take their game to the next level by growing their teams, by expanding their product types, and giving back by training more agents. This is powerful. And then obviously we said all the tools that we're going to get, and we keep on looking at getting more and more tools so we can always stay competitive, because EXP embraces technology to make us more efficient and effective. I love that. And one of the things that you're going to hear over and over is EXP, we are a separate brokerage company from EXP Realty. We collaborate, of course, working together, and we have incredible earning potentials of how we are structured. This is something that if you tell some of the commercial agents, they're just not going to believe you, but share it with them, let people see what we have to offer. Then also, I'll tell you this, even when I was announced just about a little bit over a month ago, agents have been reaching out to me about how can I introduce EXP Commercial to all these other commercial agents to show what we have to offer. And they are sharing. So I encourage everyone, if you have a commercial agent you know about, please share about EXP Commercial. And again, like I said, referral, collaboration, working together is one of our biggest strengths. And I will tell you, it is alive and well. And so, as I end, please come to our breakout sessions on Wednesday. We'll explain EXP Commercial, our leadership, our training and mentorship, and what do we have in store for 2021 for our future of ancillary services and international growth. So Curtis, thank you so much for this opportunity, and it's back to you.
All right, give James a hand even though he's not here. So, couple things. It is a separate company from EXP, but here's the cool thing. Residential agents can still do up to 6 commercial deals a year and stay on the residential side. So you could still do commercial, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you're doing more than 6, they ask that you switch and become a commercial broker. And the split is 80-20, the cap is $20,000 a year. But for commercial, that's nothing. And then the monthly fee is, I believe, either $500 or $600 a month. $500 a month, but it gives you national access to CoStar and LoopNet, which is unheard of. To give you an example, as you're talking to your commercial friends, aunts, uncles, friends from college, wherever, we had a 40-agent brokerage recently. They pay $4,000 a month to access to .loop and CoStar. You kind of need them both if you're in the commercial world. And it's $4,000 a month is what they pay, and that pretty much gives them Northern California and the Central Valley. For $500 a month, they get nationwide access. And the guy's like, I'm coming to EXP just for that value. And so it's a big, big deal. The 80-20 split, that's unheard of in the commercial realm. And so it's being pioneered, led by James. And by the way, most commercial brokers are kind of stuffy in this. Isn't he like all happy and like, hey, good morning, good morning? He's like, I've met James, talked to him plenty. I love the guy. He's very personable. And again, ex-president of the California Association of Commercial Agents and ex-president of ARIA Worldwide. He's a big deal. Now he's the president of commercial. Very excited about that. Okay, switching gears. Our next speaker, and we're actually a few minutes ahead of schedule. We're 4 minutes ahead, is a friend of mine I've known for, I don't know, a couple decades. I really got to become really well acquainted with him about 10 years ago. He owned a company called Fusion Real Estate. He now no longer runs that company. He sold it to RE/MAX. Now he runs what's called Fusion Growth Partners. They're not just a marketing company. They take agents who do $5 million a year and 10 times them or 20 times them, 10x to 50 to 100 million, and they partner with you.